Hey, DM Randy here. Welcome back to the Session 2 VOD of Ever Curious or Clemmacia. Sorry this has been very far behind, because what happened is I prepared an entire dungeon for them to do a dungeon crawl through, and it turned out that we had content left for the next time. So, this session is a good combination of roleplay, and then they learn about dungeon and combat. You know what? I'm not going to say anymore. Just sit back, take it in, and enjoy. Because I sure did. All around you are now deceased kobolds. Ding, you peel yourself off of the ground.
Oh, Christ. She gets up and wipes herself off. Still clearly damaged.
You doing all right there, buddy?
Rue offers her a hand.
I'm fine. Kind of, maybe.
Despite what she says, Rue decides to pick her up anyways, holding her in her arm like a little squid baby.
Thank you.
I could imagine Ding just all like, thank you. Like gargling a little bit.
Melting.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, and after a few moments, Barumir lands back on the ground again with a thud, and she's like, is everybody okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Ding just stares at her.
And then after this, you hear the dining hall door swing open. And after a couple seconds, you hear a small tap, tap, tap. You notice that Jamie is much smaller than you expected. She's like 3'7", and she has an oaken crutch, and she has a broken leg. And she makes her way down the stairs. And as she turns around, you notice she's not quite as small as you expect, because it looks like she has a bosom on her that should be on someone twice her size.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
And then she shouts over as she's making her way over slowly. She's all like, is everybody okay? I heard a loud commotion out here.
Oh, we're fine. We just had to ward off some kobolds after some weird little freak show called them on us after we tried to be so nice. What the hell is going on?
Jamie shrugs and she continues to make her way over. She's like, well, I don't know, but any road lunch is almost done. And then as she stutters, you can see her kind of bump into something that isn't there, and she stumbles forward for a second. How about all of y'all give me a D12? For everyone at home watching the VOD, I am trying a new system where I've written down the predetermined 12 dice rolls for investigation perception checks to make this faster, so I have their rolls on a piece of paper in front of me.
I've gotten 11.
4.
Okay, so Rue, you kind of look down as she catches herself, and you notice there is a footprint pressing grass down.
What's that?
Rue motions towards the pressed down grass.
It kind of looks like a foot.
Ding looks down with you. Huh. Wait, where did I come from?
Jamie kind of turns to her left, and then she turns back around to you. And she puts up her hand, she's like, oh, it's no trouble, don't worry, it's fine. And then Rue, she looks at you, and she winks. And then she says, Miss Marumeru, could you retrieve the biscuits for lunch? And then she's like, sure, Miss Jamie, I gotta open this here food storage. And then she grabs the key out of her glove, and she touches it to the bottom of the round padlock, and it opens, and Marumeru kind of grunts like, as she pushes the heavy door open. And after a couple seconds when she stands back, you notice the footprint picks up and the grass stands up, and you can see dust kick up going into the food storage. And then after a moment, after Marumeru's about to go in, she's like, oh, silly me, Miss Marumeru, I have them right here. And then she lifts up kind of a basket of biscuits she was going to bring out. And then Jamie says, "Could you be a dear and close the food storage for me?" And then Marumeru's like, "Well, okay, if you say so." And as she pulls the food storage door shut and she's grunting, you can hear a soft pounding on the back of the door, like little hands are trying to pound against it.
Oh no.
And then she locks the latch, and then Jamie looks up at you, Rue, and she winks again, and she puts a finger over her mouth.
Huh.
Rue's ears twitch, even though nobody can probably see it past her whole mass of maroon hair, tilting her head slightly.
Any road, as I said, lunch should be done. Have you seen little Puko yet?
Well, we thought we saw Puko around here, but it turns out it was that little freak show. Jamie, do you know who that was?
Whatever could you be talking about? Puko's usually always the apothecary in her studies. Pray tell, go and fetch her, and lunch will be ready as soon as you are done. Miss Meru, could you come and set the table, please? And then Marumeru's like, oh yeah, I gotta go put on my shirt first, I got my belly hanging out. And then you see her kind of run around the corner, back to the sparring area. And after a couple seconds, she's like putting her head through the sleeve slot and her arm through the head slot because she's trying to hurry back to the dining hall.
Oh my god.
And since she can't see, yep, that's a 1. She falls over a few times. But she eventually, with limited sight, crawls up the steps back into the dining hall.
Oh no.
Oh, me.
As Jamie slowly turns around, she again looks toward you and she puts her paw forefinger over her mouth like a shh motion, and then she makes her way back.
I think it's very confused, but whatever. I like to think the whole time the thing is just being held with like one arm, like just kind of like looking over. Like
Yeah,
like off
that's
the ground.
exactly it.
Yes, good.
So, now there are very few options laid in front of you. What are you going to do?
Rue looks down at Ding.
So, how about we go check out and see if we can find the real Puko? Hopefully this time we don't get attacked again. You don't look like you're in very good shape now.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest maybe getting some dinner first so I can relax a little bit. I'm not in the best shape right now.
So you're gonna go to the dining hall first?
Up to you, Rue.
Well, I mean, Jamie did say it would be done by the time we got back, and like, what's the worst that can happen?
Well, as long as you're willing
Let's
to
go.
as long as you're willing to carry me the entire way, I guess that's
All
fine.
right. All right, let's go to the apothecary. Hopefully this time we have the right plant girl.
Oh, I hope so. But I would be careful. I'm kind of suspicious that a lot of enemies spawned around her. So, we should keep our guard up.
Don't worry. As long as we have each other's backs, we should be perfectly fine.
Ugh.
Okay. You head over to the apothecary and you push open the screen door, and it just kind of pushes open. Immediately when you step in, you can smell the scent of burning lamp oil, and you can see there is a thin white smoke kind of thinly coating the ceiling. It's the same color as the billow of smoke coming out of the chimney that you saw before. It's not noxious, it's just like, oh dear.
Oh.
That doesn't look safe.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Also, as you come in, you can hear a small whistling noise, and you hear a constant bubbling. It's not very close to you. While you're in the apothecary, you can see there are a lot of bedrolls laid down. There are about 6 bedrolls. They each have small wooden boxes next to them. And in one of the ones closest to you, you can see a lot of bandages that were kind of yellowed and dirtied are in a pile, and you see one of the boxes open. And it's just like basic. They're just basic healing kits. Like there is ointment, there's salve, there's some bandage scissors. Just a rudimentary medical first aid kit.
Ooh. Bro, look.
Hey, Ding.
Yeah.
Looks like we got ourselves some resources here. You don't think Puka would mind we rest up a bit, huh?
Not at all. I don't see why not.
And as soon as you say the name Puko, you hear, Miss Marbear, is that you? I could use your help! And you hear it come from behind a curtain, way in the back of the apothecary.
Huh? Who's there?
Show yourself.
And then she says, Marbear, don't play around! And then in the back, you can see a large orange hand draw the curtains. And you see there's a small creature on a stool with their finger up, and it's connected to a spectral orange hand that pulled the curtains. And she's like, come on! I need your help! Quick!
Well,
Ding summons Presto, just in case. She's very, like, she's very worried about her.
What? Are you just summoning your arms? Because you can just say she summons her arms. You don't have to use prestidigitation to do it.
Okay, I'm sorry. She summons her arms.
Okay.
Yeah, that's way easier to say. She summons her arms, like, in, like, a fist-like motion, like she's ready to fight.
Okay, so you're going to approach?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's approach.
So shortly after you come in, the orange spectral hand pulls the curtains closed, and then it kind of swoops over your shoulder, Rue, and over Ding's head, kind of dangling the bell on your hat.
Uh-huh.
And just like, okay, Miss Marumeru, I think I'm finally there. I'm about to figure it out. On a shelf by your right foot, there should be 2 red bottles. Do you see them?
Root looks down near her feet at the bottles.
Yeah, I think I see exactly what you're talking about.
You notice the bottles they're pushed pretty far back. If only you were small enough to grab them.
Here,
Hey,
put me
Ding.
down for a second. I know, let me do it.
Rue hunches down, gently putting Ding on the floor.
Don't sprain yourself now.
She looks at you sarcastically like, are you fucking kidding me?
And after a second, he's like, okay, I need you to pass me the scarlet sap. And in the back of this shelf, you can see there is a triangular flask that has a bright red runny liquid. And there is a square-shaped flask with a dark red thick liquid. Your options will be in VC. Which one are you going to pass over?
The B.
You're going to pass
Square-
over the square flask that's dark red?
Yes.
Okay. So you do that, and then the orange hand swipes it up. And then they add it to the concoction. She's like, okay, alright, Miss Marmaber, on your left, there should be a table. A table, okay?
She crawls out of the desk. Or the cabinet, yeah.
And it's a little too high for Ding at this very moment, so Rue, you look to your left and you do see the table. On that table, there should be 3 crystals. I need a water crystal. So, on this table, you see a sky blue crystal with a frosted sheen. You also see a deep blue crystal with a cascading veil. And you also see a dark purple crystal with an abyssal gloom. Choose one to pass to her.
Choose B.
You choose B. Okay. So you pass over the deep blue crystal. At this point, do you want to pick Ding back up?
Rue hunches over, grabbing Ding and holding her in her arm again.
While you're picking her up, she holds her her magic hands out and like a baby, like trying to get you to grab her.
She makes grabby hands.
Yeah.
Amazing, yes.
And then as you pick Ding up, you hear a kettle just constantly whistling. It gets louder and louder and louder. It sounds like,
Thank you, Randy.
and then and this is constantly going. And then the bubbling is getting more and more intense. It's like, oh no, it's gonna bubble over. Quick, I need a wind crystal. Quick. Okay, so on the crystal, on the table, there are now 4 crystals. There is a pearly white crystal that becomes brighter when you touch it. There is a saturated green crystal that is soft and grainy to the touch. There is a desaturated green crystal that's cool to the touch, and there is a bright red crystal that's warm to the touch. Which one are you going to pass over? Both of you will probably need to agree on this, because it's like, the alembic she's messing with is reaching critical mass. It's like 3 times the size it was when he came in.
Oh no.
I think maybe the green one, because it's cool.
Oh,
It might cool down the pot, I don't know.
Get the desaturated green crystal.
Okay.
Okay, so without hesitation, one of you kind of toss it over, and it miraculously lands in the solution. And she's like, "Oh, that was a good throw! Oh!" And then she kind of ducks down, and she also uses her special orange hand to kind of put on her head, too, while she ducks down. And then the kettle that's attached to the alembic set goes and it cools down, and there's no longer whistling. And then there's a fragrant puff of smoke. So she stands back up, and she's like, "Huh. Well, it doesn't look like it's exactly right, but I guess this works." Then after a second, she picks up the test tube, and she turns around. And as she turns around, you can see this look of confusion and disgust on her face, and she's like, "Wait, neither of you can read Sylvan, can you?"
Huh?
And Ding, you notice that the bottles were written in a script.
Oh, fuck. Unfortunately not.
Puko kind of ducks down and looks to her left, and then she's like, "Oh, yep, there it is. Well, at least it didn't blow up this time." Listen, I can't use this, so I think one of you should have it.
What is it?
And what it is it is a wad of blue incense.
Oh.
And then after this, she's like, "Well, you must be our 2 visitors. My name's Puko."
Oh, so you're Puko.
"I'm always Puko. What are you talking about?"
It's a long story, but basically we met someone who we thought was Puko and it wasn't. And now I'm nearly dead.
Uncle Hergrip's too big to be Puko. You know that.
It was someone else, but alright.
And then Puko's like, "Wait, are you not feeling okay?"
No.
Okay.
she's pretty roughed up bad. Do you mind if we tend to her on those bedrolls you have over there?
And then Puko puts her hands on her hips. And it's at this moment she's like, "Sure, okay, let's go." And as she draws the curtain, you can see her form in more detail. She's like 2'7", so she's still bigger than Ding.
God fucking damn it.
And she's wearing a hat that looks like kind of like a jester's cap. But as she walks through the light of the apothecary, you can tell it's too glossy and too thick to be a hat. And then she's also she has short stubby legs, and she has strangely long arms with no joints, and they kind of have a great freedom of movement. They're like vines, but arms. And they end in 4-digit appendages. As she turns around, she stands beside one of the bedrolls that are vacant. She's like, "Here, put them down here. I'll help."
Okay.
And then Ding, as you are set down, you can kind of look up into her face, and you can tell she has kind of slightly tanned skin. And then she lifts her goggles off of her eyes, and one of her eyes is black with a white iris, and her other eye is red with a black iris.
Ding stares at it for a while, and she's kind of like amazed, but you know, it's cool.
And her eyes don't have black sclera; they have a white sclera, like everyday normal people do. So it's not Spooky Town, USA. And then you also notice that she's wearing a blouse that's too large for her, so it kind of serves as a skirt. And then she wears a brown smock over that. So what Puko does is she kind of kneels down, and she's opening the healer's kit. She's like, "Okay, so how are you feeling? What's wrong?"
Mostly my chest area. We were attacked by We were attacked by kobolds earlier. I took a really bad blow near my chest area.
And then Puko kind of, she extends one of her strangely long arms, and it, like, slithers like a snake. It has no joints.
Mm-hmm.
And then she kind of gently prods with her middle and forefinger on your chest, and she's like, bruising.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've got something for this. And what she does is she takes out a salve, or an oil rather, and she kind of dabs it on your chest, and it kind of seeps through your clothes.
Oh.
And
Well,
then Puko's like, well, you should be okay for a while. It's just some bruising. I feel like maybe a nice meal might help.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but we really haven't had the chance to get to that yet because somebody's taking their sweet time.
And then Puko's like, well, you have to remember she has a broken leg.
Yeah, that's true. At least she's tall.
and then Puko shakes her head and she's like, no, buddy, she's not.
Well, I can't tell the difference if you can see. She starts pointing herself.
Oh, that is true. So, Ding,
Mm-hmm.
you recover 7 hit points.
Oh, nice.
And then as she's putting up the kit here, she's like, my name is Puko, and it might not seem like it, but I'm the one tasked with alchemy and anything medical related around here. If you're hurt, I should be the first person you talk to.
Well, that's good to know.
Uncle Hergrim is helpful sometimes, but he can't read common. A lot of these books are in common.
He can't read common? We had no trouble understanding him when we visited him.
And then Puko's like, well, and then she rubs the back of her head and she's like, don't tell him I told you that, okay?
Rue makes an okay
okay.
hand, pressing her index and thumb together.
Your secret's safe with us.
Okay, good, because he gets a little bent out of shape when I tell people that. And after a moment, you hear a plip, plip, plip sound, and she puts her spectral hand up to her ear and crosses her long arms. She's like, yeah? Yeah, they're here right now? Yeah, one of them looked real bad. No, I didn't mean physically. They actually looked like they were hurt.
Ding frowns.
Frowns in disgust.
They should feel better in no time. Okay, I'll go there right now. No, the experiment didn't quite work. I'll have to... If one of the ingredients was wrong, I think. Okay. See you in a minute. Bye-bye! And then she dismisses her mage hand. And she's like, well, it looks like lunch is ready. Should we go?
Ooh, yes, please.
Rue's
Okay.
face lights up.
Yes, finally!
Hey, Brew.
Yeah?
She puts her magic hands up.
Rue hunches down, scooping Ding up once again in her arm.
Thank you, sweetie.
Well... well, let's head to dinner, eh, Ding?
Please, after you.
Alright.
By that, I mean both of us.
At the same time.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so as you guys approach the dining hall, an unfamiliar face is there, opening the door for you courteously. Mr. Maven,
Aw, shit. Here we go again.
how about you give us a brief description of yourself?
Well, I am a 6'2" cat. I'm a cat. I normally wear a black hooded trench coat with the pink bandage wrapping around my right paw. Right paw. Pink
They're all
tank
white
top.
around here.
Yeah. Black hollister for his daggers, black pants, black heavy duty boots with pink accents. And yeah, he's tall with white fur, brown and blonde hair. About 205 pounds. He's pretty muscular. Got a small scar on his left cheek, and one on his back that you normally can't see. His hair is kind of spiky and short, so yeah.
And amongst his hair is a fairly large lump with a bandage on it.
Ding whispers to Rue, "Ooh, look, a handsome kitty."
Rue seems to stare up almost adoringly at Maven.
Oh, you're telling me.
Maven looks at the two, confused but intrigued. Why, hello there. I see you guys in for lunch.
Why, yes,
Shake-
hello.
Rue shakes herself out of her chance.
Yeah, we were told by Puka that dinner's ready.
Yeah, I've lost track of time pretty much. Come on in.
Sweet.
And as you both go in, you can see that there is the Faunakin and Sproutkith are already seated. Jamie is at the other side of the table at the head. Hergrim is sitting on your left side. It's her right side, but it's your left side. And then Marumeru is seated, and there are 2 plates in front of her, but Puko is sitting in her lap on her right leg. And there are 3 empty seats. There's one at the foot of the table, and there are 2 empty ones on each end. And in one of the seats is a fairly large thesaurus. Feel free to move it as needed.
I wonder which seat was meant for me. She says jokingly.
I don't know, man. The one at the foot seems pretty fitting.
Rue says sarcastically.
Oh, well, whatever you guys choose, I'm gonna sit out the end anyway.
Ding hops onto the thesaurus chair.
You are sitting directly opposite of Jamie at the other end of the table.
Oh boy.
So who wants to sit next to Fat Cat?
Me.
And that leaves Maven, you're sitting next to Hergrim, and Ding.
Okay.
Okay. So on the table spread in front of you is a spread of cornbread, biscuits, roast, pot roast. There are some assorted sweet cakes, and there's also a large pot of black tea, and there's a large pot of coffee in the center. And there's more than enough for everyone to get seconds if they really want to. So So you guys serve yourselves. Just for flavor, what do you guys serve yourselves? A little bit of everything, or do you go particularly one thing? Oh, and Ding!
Yeah.
There's no fish in sight.
I know.
Oh no!
I was gonna say, Ding
Damn
looks
it.
around, kind of upset, but after a while, she looks over at Jamie. Excuse me, ma'am. I was just wondering if you had anything fish related that I can't see.
Jamie's putting her coffee mug to her lips as she takes a slow drink, and she's like, "Well, I'm sure the cattle lived by the sea."
The what?
The pot roast.
Oh.
She was being kind of a bitch.
Maven looks towards Ding, kind of with the same frown. I wish there were fish too, don't worry. You just gotta live with it.
In the corner of their eyes, they can see Rue shoveling pot roast onto her plate along with some cornbread.
Ding sighs and is forced to crawl up the table, taking her plate with one of her 2 of her tentacles, while the other one's just kind of sploosh through the table.
And then Marbury's like, whoa! You're stepping on the sweet cakes! You're stepping on the sweet cakes! No!
What do you want me to do?
And then JV points up her finger, and there is a light purple mage hand. And she's like, "Sit down, dear." I'll get you
Okay.
whatever you like.
She frowns, but gets back in the chair.
And as you step back over the sweet cakes, here's a good time to roll a D100. Let's find out what percentage of them did not survive.
Oh,
58% of them are crushed mishmashes unless they once were.
The sweet cake!
fucking rip, dude.
Puko looks sadly up in the Marumiru's face, and then you can quietly hear her say, "I'm still gonna eat him."
Oh no!
Oh god!
And then you're all served, and Jamie goes to each of you with the mage hand, and she's like, "Coffee or tea?"
Tea, please.
Okay, and she serves you with a teacup that is quite large for you, but you notice that she's drinking a coffee mug that seems a little bit large for her too.
I see.
I'll take some tea as well, thanks.
Oh, very good, very good. And then she pours Maven a cup of tea, and you notice that she also swirls it around with one of the mage hand's fingers to kind of stir it for you, and then passes it to you.
Thank you, thank you.
And you,
Thanks.
madam, what will you have?
If you don't mind, I'd like some coffee.
Okay. And then she leans back with her mage hand and opens up the cabinet and gets another coffee mug, and it's the same exact size. It's like only one person drinks coffee in this whole residence.
Yes!
Like, the coffee mug is like the size of her head.
Oh
It's big. And then she passes it to you, and she's like, "1 lump of sugar or 2?"
2, please.
And as you say 2, she gives you a judgmental look.
Oh my god.
I can't believe Jamie's a fucking coffee gatekeeper.
And she begrudgingly drops 2 cubes of sugar into your coffee. So after a moment, she kind of sits up. She's also sitting on a large book because she's small. She's the largest of the small characters that you can see, but she's still small. Oh, actually, this is good for role-playing, because guess what? I have what I'm about to do. I can just do it. And after a moment of everyone enjoying their food and talking amongst themselves, you hear a...
Oh.
And everyone, you kind of look toward the head of the table. And Jamie speaks up. She's like, "Well, everyone, thank you for making it. I feel like, with us all together today, we should probably introduce ourselves. My name is Lady Jamie. I'm the landlady of Birchback Burrow, and I'm the curator of curiosities and face of the company. I used to spend my time blazing the trails until 6 months ago when a dire wolf 3 times my size tore my ear and snapped my ankle in 2. I unfortunately can no longer work on my own, and even small tasks like upkeeping the dining hall and shopfront often push me to exhaustion. There simply has not been enough money to have my ankle treated. Others' needs take priority." And then she kind of nods, and Marumiru kind of nods back. She's like, "My name is Marumiru. I'm the company's courier, and I'm the face of the company outside of Birchback Burrow. When there are fights, I kind of act as the mediator, and it depending on the fight, it might either end in a swift kick or a good conversation, but I don't know, it depends on the fight. Without me, I feel like Birchback Burrow would see no import or export, so eat as much as you like. I can go back to town and get some more tomorrow." And then in her lap, Puko speaks up, and she's like, "My name is Puko, and I am Uncle Hergrim's niece." Oh, that's redundant. "Uncle Hergrim, maybe you should go first." And she looks across the table, kind of like she's a little flustered because she made a little error. And then Hergrim's like, "Certainly. This one's name is Hergrim. Hergrim Canopyborn. This one is the handyman of Birchback Burrow. The constructs that those ones see within the burrow are of this one's design. Birchback Burrow was formerly the place of this one's upbringing and birth, but it's been long since the birch forest that this one oversaw had withered away, and one day, from the remains of that birch forest, that one came to be. And he points back over to Puko, and then Puko's like, "That's me!" And you can see, instead of making an introduction, she's kind of stuffing a sweet cake into her face. And then after that, Marumir looks towards you, he's like, "Well, I don't think we've ever formally introduced ourselves. What are y'all's names? Where do you come from?"
She rests her face on her magic hand, pretending that it's holding her up.
Rue stammers a bit.
Well, friends call me Rue. Rue Noir. I come from the fiery depths of hell, and yes, it is as bad as you might think it is.
As you're introducing yourself, you can hear Puko whisper into Marumir's ear. She's like, "Aunt Maru, what's a hell?"
Oh no, we said a bad word!
Oh no!
Ding giggles just slightly.
It's as bad as you might think it is. Well, not for me, considering I was born in hell, and while I'm not exactly comfortable disclosing my origins, I will tell you that I was in such a high place that I didn't really have to worry about any sort of violence. All I had to really worry about was a severe lack of respect. I personally like to spend my time traveling and adventuring. Sometimes ancient ruins, sometimes in the most dangerous paths hell has to enter. And it looks like I'm in quite the pickle here. So I'm very interested to know what your world has in store for me.
Jamie kind of nods her head, and then she looks toward the other two of you.
Well, go ahead, little one.
Me? Alright. Hello, my name is Dean. As you can see, I'm very tiny. Ha ha ha. Y'all laugh. Alright, cool. Fuck. I have no idea how I got here, but the last thing I do remember was I was busy doing shopkeeping business, and I got knocked out. I guess you could say I'm this, I've been born tiny my entire life, but I do want to point out that it hasn't always been this way for me, and I'd rather not explain more into it. But let's just say this is basically a living hell for me. But I've grown to live with it. You know, you stay tiny for way too long and you get used to it, whatever. Sucks, but, you know, that's why I got powers. Because none of my other species has it either. So...
You can see Hergrim kind of nod his head and purse his lips a little bit. And then he focuses his attention up to Maven. Is it Mavin or Maven?
Maven.
Maven, okay, gotcha. Cool.
Well, Maven sits up. He looks at everyone and starts speaking. Well, I'm Maven. Nice to meet you all. I was running away from all of my pasts and troubles and such, and I was asleep and then woke up here. I don't know really how I got here. All I know is that I had to fight my way to actually get here. And then I got greeted by Maru? You?
Maru nods her head. Yeah.
And she introduced me in a way. He points to his bandage on his head. You didn't have to do that, but it hurt.
I like to test everyone's gumption. And let's say up until today it was 100%. Now it's 99.9%. 9%.
Well, thank you, I guess. But, yeah, I'm just really trying to find my path, and I'm hoping this place could help me find a better me, so to speak.
Jamie kind of, like, she nods her head, then you hear her clap her hands. And then as she takes another drink of coffee, she's like, well, it finally comes out. There is something that all of you have in common.
And what's that?
Yeah, what's that?
Mind enlightening us?
Yes, I would be very happy to enlighten all of you. And after a moment, you see her reach in underneath the yellow bandana she wears around her neck, and you see her retrieve a silver piece that's hanging on a thick black string similar to the ones that you're wearing. Maven, you're wearing one too.
Yeah.
And after a moment, she flicks her forepaw finger against it, and wherever you're wearing it, you can feel the string start to tighten and reknit itself, and now it's kind of a slightly tight velvet choker with a little silver piece in the middle of it.
Oh god.
You could also interpret it looking like a collar if you prefer that.
Hell yeah.
Like a pet's collar, you can do that. And then Jamie takes it off her neck and she holds it up. All three of you have been brought to Clemmacia because you have lost an attachment to your home plane. Your reasons are different, but we're in a similar position. In the older days, I owned a small company, and then I had a couple of my employees turn on me. One of them was the giant direwolf that snapped my ankle in twain and snatched 1/3 of my ear.
Rough.
Instead of trying to conscript all three of you to be employees, I figure that maybe providing a benefits package, so to say, may be a better way to allow us to work with one another. You see, Clemmacia is a strange place. Two of you emerged from a marsh forest that moved on its own. If you had not left a moment sooner, you could have been miles, days, weeks away from here.
Fuck.
I sent Marumeru to go fetch you, but unfortunately we couldn't transport you directly into Birchback Burrow, because that would expose a planar weakness that we don't want to mess with. Isn't that right, Sir Hergrim? And Hergrim kind of nods his head. This one thinks it'd be tragic if those ones could come in the same way this ones did. So Jamie kind of nods her head, and she's like, I know this isn't the happiest thing to say, but if you're going to ever want to leave Clemmacia, we are going to have to work together. And as per the summons, we are inclined to furnish and help you within your needs, so long as you also help us. We have some very basic facilities and basic barracks and other things that we're going to need to furnish. And then outside you hear the bulletin board go quack and crash against the ground.
Oh!
And
Oh,
Maven,
God.
you can see through the window, it literally just like topples over like a tree because it's in such disrepair.
Well, there goes that.
And then JB's like, ha, we weren't using it anyway.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I know this is a lot to dump on you at once, so all three of you are allowed to stay here for the evening, free of charge. I will come to you tomorrow. However, I don't know if you got a glimpse inside the food storage when it was temporarily open, but the only thing we have left is canned vegetables. So if we don't make some money quickly, we're all going to be eating sweet corn for the next few weeks. And then Maru's like, yeah, sweet corn, though!
Maven looks at Maru concerned. Are you fine with only eating sweet corn, or what's going on with that?
And then Puko speaks up and is like, have you seen how she eats beans?
Ah.
Maven looks at Rue and Ding. Is it really that bad?
Oh yes, it's very bad.
Oh, yes,
Rue
it's
kind of
so bad.
mulls it over.
Well, food is food.
And then Jamie continues briefly. She's like, I know this seems unfair, and I've had my own boundary crossings in the past, but I'm willing to turn over a new leaf, and if you want to gain a name and money, and if you may potentially want to tap into more of the ether in the air in Clemmacia for, say, magic. As she says magic, she twirls her paw fingers and uses prestidigitation to create a series of sparks between all of her fingers. Like a woo. Then she says, then it would behoove you to assist us. But don't make a decision now. There's a hot meal in front of you. After this, we will get you settled into lodgings, and then I'll ask you about it in a couple of days. Sir Hergrim, what day is it today? And then Hergrim kind of mulls it over for a moment. He's like, Milady, it's Dark's Day. And then she puts her paw finger on her chin. She's like, Dark's Day, huh? I'm guessing on Lightning's Day I could take a down payment. I have to figure out how much it would be to house 1, 2, 3 more adults. Oh, we're going to have to restock very soon. And then
You can always mark me as a child.
Same here. Us demons age differently than most people.
Well, I guess technically I'm the only adult then, at that case.
And then Jamie's like I said, feel free to think it over. I'll approach you later in the week, and I will collect a down payment. And then I'll also furnish you with some jobs and some contacts that you could probably get more jobs with. Trust me. With us working together, we'll all prosper.
Ding is looking very, very uncomfortable. But she's thinking it over very hard.
Jamie notices this. She's like, yes. Purple one?
When you say down payment, how much are we talking?
Jamie reaches into her bosom and retrieves a handful of golden coins. This. And she jingles it around in her hands for a second.
You notice that Ding is eyeing the gold sack. But she stays quiet. Still thinking it over.
Yeah. After a moment, you see Jamie kind of hold her hand up over her cleavage and drops the coins in. They kind of go in like a coin slot on a bang.
Oh god.
And then she's like, you have to understand, services and food cost money.
Mm-hmm.
Were I able to walk again, I would walk the realm and earn my own.
Rue hunches over, whispering to Ding.
Hey, Ding.
Yeah?
Maybe, just maybe, we can learn to make a profit if we get enough contacts, eh? Maybe adventure around some? Find ourselves some treasures we could pawn off?
Or maybe we could set up a shop.
Now that's thinking outside the box.
Jamie actually kind of, one of her ears perks up. She's like, I forgot to mention, I'm a purveyor of curiosities, so if you find some things that you may not be able to find a use for, I can pay you in some coin, and we may be able to use them in Birchback Burrow to improve our services. As you've noticed, things are pretty rudimentary, but I promise the lodge is the best building we have. It's the one we have to very, very, very carefully make sure it's safe.
Rue smiles at Ding.
Well, what do you know?
Anyway, everyone, please enjoy your meal. If you'd like to talk with anyone, ask any of us questions, we'll be happy to answer within our bounds. And this entire time, Marumeru has been like feeding spoonfuls of pot roast to Puko, who's just sitting in her lap.
Baby.
Baby.
Small.
She even hasn't been eating her own food. She's just been feeding Puko.
Oh,
Aww.
I love her.
That's adorable.
She's a good baby.
We stand Puko.
Alright, let's dine in. Alright, so Marvin.
Marvin?
Yes, you.
Maven.
Maven, fuck!
Oh my god!
What are we fucking up?
I thought you were doing that on purpose. Like she doesn't even remember Maven's name.
Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? That's purpose. That's on purpose. Fuck it. That's great.
Okay.
Well, Maven, I guess. So all you really remember is just running here, right?
Well, pretty much, yeah. I had stopped to take a nap, and then I'd ended up in, like a place.
You think-
I was just here.
You think, possibly Mara was the reason you lost your memory?
Honestly, she knocked the hell out of me. So, I would say yes.
Chimes in.
I can see that.
She makes a motion to her own head to sort of signify, like, mentioning the lump on his head.
Oh yeah, Maven, you can see she has like a clear like purple spot on her chin.
Yeah.
Oh, the fat cat got you too.
Yep.
Apparently, the fat cat doesn't know how to hit small targets.
Maven giggles.
And then from this moment, you see a biscuit fly from your. It flies from your peripheral vision. Does a 19 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Got him!
God damn it!
You don't take any damage, but now it burst in your face and you're covered in like cornbread crumbs.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Marumiru doesn't even like phase. She continues to feed Puko and giggle. She just throws it because she overhears it.
Rue rests her face in her hand, her eyes half lidded as she smirks at Ding.
You want to try that again?
So much for a small target, huh?
You leave me alone.
And the Marumiru turns around and is like, "Oh, do you think you can hit a big target?"
Oh, yes, I can.
Oh, here we go, B.
Oh, God.
What are you gonna throw?
I'm gonna throw a fork.
A fork?
Okay. Make
That's violent.
Make an attack roll and add +2.
Okay.
Maven sips his tea while this is happening.
Attack roll +2. 11.
+2. As you fling the fork, she catches it in her teeth.
Oh, god damn it!
Wow.
And now you are forkless with your meal.
I didn't need it anyway.
Rue makes a snide remark, her smirk growing wider.
Well, how generous of you, Ding.
Well, at least you wasted cornbread.
Maven looks at Maru and then right at Ding. I mean, you have to admit, that was kind of impressive, though.
Oh, definitely.
Ugh. She takes a sip of, like, her tea. Struggling a little bit to, like, get it in her tentacle and also to sip it without spilling it.
Miss Ding, do you need a straw?
She starts to sweat. I am fine, thank you.
And then, as you look up from drinking your tea, a small straw rebounds off your forehead and lands inside of your tea. Standing up.
Rue lets out a small chuckle.
You know, for all those things on your tentacles, it seems you still can't suck, eh?
Bitch. What the fuck?
Wow.
Got him. The moment that popped into my head, I was like, yes!
God.
Got him good. Rue shoots Ding a double pistol and a wink.
Ding ignores it and continues to sip her teeth through the straw. Embarrassed.
Just turning red.
Yes.
And you notice the only other person using a straw at the table is Puko, the actual child.
Oh, the shame!
Aw.
Poor Ding.
Oh my fucking god.
Maven smirks at Ding. So I take it you're actually not a kid, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Just making sure.
Would you believe that I'm actually younger than I look, though? Like, I'm full grown, but this body of mine actually makes me a lot older. That's why I'm a little
really?
grouchy. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I guess I could kind of pick up on that. You remind me about one of my friends at home.
Like who?
Yeah, but he was a lot taller, though.
I see what you do. I see what you did. Okay.
I'm not even trying to be rude here. I'm serious. He's like 90% leg. It's so fucking weird.
God, people who are just leg are weird.
Exactly. And then he has like this whole face full of fucking teeth. Ugh.
Oh.
It's like, he's a weirdo, but then again, Hell's kind of cool, you know, so he's one of the less weird weirdos. He's kind of weird physically. Trust me, though. If you've met some of the people I have in Hell, he's definitely one of the most mature ones.
I see. Alright.
I guess. Hell certainly sounds like a place I wouldn't want to be at, but...
Oh, trust me, you don't even know the half of it. Hey, if you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Believe me, you wouldn't believe how many superstitions are passed around in different realms about Hell that just aren't true.
You know what's true, Hell? Ding staring at her tea.
What is
Heaven.
it? Oh.
You know what? You're not wrong about that.
Yeah. She stays quiet.
I mean, I can't say I've been either, but that's really existential.
It's not existential for me, trust me, dog. I've been there, it's so fucking boring. All everybody does is just get on their knees and pray all day. Like, where's the fucking snacks? Where's the music? It's such a fucking party for squares.
They also have really high expectations of themselves. They're like, oh, we're the good people. We are the chosen ones, and anyone who disagrees goes to hell. Blah, 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 blah.
I know, right? See? Someone finally gets it.
She makes a little fist with her tentacle.
Well,
Okay. Leave me hanging, I guess.
Oh, you were wanting a fist bump? I'm sorry.
Oh,
I thought you were making a motion. I'm sorry. Rue reaches over, gently fist bumping Ding's tentacle.
Hell yeah.
Right on.
Maven just looks at the both of you confused, just like eating a cornbread.
Trust me, cat boy. If someone ever tells you to go to hell, don't take it as an insult. Take it as a compliment. We have the most fun.
Think things for a while. By the way, Jamie, right?
As you look up, you can see Hergrim was projecting an illusion with sounds from his horn coming out of his forehead. At the mention of this, you see him quickly throw up his hand and dissipate it, and Jamie looks up like, oh, yes?
Huh? Okay then. I just wanted to ask, are you guys like trapped here? Like, what's the whole point of like us being here and like wanting to, I don't know, get money to leave? It sounds like we're all here for a really. Anyway.
It sounds like hell, basically. Like, you
Yeah.
have to pay this weird fucking boat guy just to get out of hell and get to heaven. It's so fucking creepy.
Like, how are we all trapped here? How did you guys get here? Or were you always just here?
Jamie shakes her head and she's like, this is the plane that we all exist on. Have any of you heard of the Feywilds before?
What? No.
I've never heard of it.
It sounds familiar, but I don't think I remember it.
Have you heard of things like magic and fairies and pixies and the like? Enchanted forests and elves?
I've heard tales about it.
Yeah, but that's all folklore, right? That's not real stuff.
Ding summons her hands.
Rue kind of squints at Maven, a bit offended.
Look, okay, I'm not used to being around magic. That's all. I only carry a bow with me. I'm not magic. I don't do all that.
Good point.
And then Jamie puts up her hands. She's like, that's just it.
I see.
The Feywilds are rich in magic, and we can eke a living with magic from weaving the ether out of the air to make magic. She points up, and you see the small wisp of light that are illuminating the dining hall. You see those? That is magic.
Ah.
And then she motions over to the stove she was cooking on. You see a red crystal kind of in the repository at the top. You see that?
Mhm.
That's magic.
Yeah.
And then Jamie's like, you see this? And then she summons a mage hand. And Rue, you can feel it kind of poke at your collarbone. Do you look down at it?
Yes.
As
wait.
soon as you look down, she does the whoop and gets her nose.
Oh my god, that was too late!
Got him.
The moment I looked down, the moment I said yes, I'm like, oh no, she's gonna do the thing!
And then the table roars with the laughter. She's like, that is magic.
Ding is laughing hysterically.
Maybe it's
Rue
not
kind of crosses her arms, a blush forming on her cheeks as she pouts. Oh, god damn it!
You got boy.
I just got so fucking hard.
That was. I never think that would have happened. That
I
could
know,
have
me
happened.
too. I totally forgot that was something that could happen.
God damn it.
As soon as Randy said, "Would you look down?" I was like, wait.
I didn't know
Yes,
where he was, I didn't realize where he was going with that until he said
Why
it.
is he asking that?
Moment. As soon as I stopped saying yes, I was like, oh no, I know it's gonna happen. It's like photos taken 10 seconds before disaster. God damn it.
That is your lesson. In the moment you declare an action and I resolve it, it's canon.
I
Right.
just got so hard.
Oh my god.
And then Jamie raised her coffee mug with her respect for her mage hand. She's like, a toast to new friends.
Dink tries to grab the cup with her hands, forgetting that she can't.
Fuko summons her mage hand to pick up Ding's glass for her.
Oh, take you.
And then brings it up gently to clang all the cups together.
Oh, yeah.
So another 10 minutes passes and the meal passes without incident. So all of you are leaving and Maramir's like, come on, I'll show y'all to the lodge. You guys get to pick your very own bed. So you all go down the steps and then you feel a tug belt loop. Maven?
Huh?
Jamie's like, I really do appreciate all your help. Without that, I would have been in bed by afternoon coffee. And then she reaches between her bosoms and she grabs a small flask and she gives it to you. And this is a lesser Vitus flask.
Can Thing make a comment?
Sure.
Seems like you got a lot of storage room, don't you, Jamie?
Rue looks down at Ding.
You saying you don't store stuff there?
It's not. They're not big enough.
and then
Store a couple pennies there.
And then Jamie's like, you could put tissues there for when you cry.
Baby.
Damn.
Got him.
And then Jamie has a plate of food in her hand, and she's like, well, you go off to the lodge, feel free to take a nice rest and hang out with the other employees. We've got some events that we need to resolve. And then you see Hergrim pass down the stairs behind you, and he has the food storage key. And he opens the door, and they both pass in quickly as he shuts the door. So,
what that's about.
So all of you head into the lodging. And as you come in, Maramir is like, ta-da, look, it's our nicest facility. And it is their nicest facility. There's actually like wallpaper and plaster on the walls. There are wooden columns, and there are several beds. It's kind of packed together in a way that it seems more like a barracks, but you're not like hand to hand with the person next to you. Each area has its own kind of like 6-foot cubes personal space. So in front of you are a few bunks. One bunk is merely a large pillow with a small quilt sitting on the wooden floor. In front of an unlocked coffer with a key hanging in it, there's also a crystal ball seated beside it. It sits just to the right of a large hammock with a cookie jar sitting on top of the pillow in the middle of it. Further down, Ding, you want it?
Yes, I want it.
Okay, that's Ding's.
Figured that'd be things.
I got the biggest bed, bitch.
It's just a pillow. It's not a bed.
You literally have a pillow.
Well, okay, imagine this. A bed, right? With a big pillow enough to be a second bed. That's sick, dude.
And then the next one is a medium bed on a wooden frame, and there's a small dresser beside it, painted black. Atop the dresser is a vase with a black rose in it. There's also the same unlocked coffer at the foot of the bed with a key hanging out of it. Dibs, anyone?
Want that one?
Okay, so that's Ruse.
I want a pillow. Damn it.
Do you guys want to cast lots on it?
91.
Oh god. Okay, that's going to be hard to beat.
Okay, so I got 60.
Okay. So, you both throw paper, rock, scissors. You throw paper and Maven throws scissors.
God damn it.
Hell yeah.
So, Maven, you get the Black Rose bed.
Yeah.
And Rue, this leaves you with the last bunk, which is a medium, heavily pillowed mattress with silk sheets. There's a wooden checkers and chess set sitting atop the mattress. There's also an unlocked coffer with a key. You can trade the items that are sitting by them if you want.
I fucking hate. I just imagine, like, you can hear Rue muttering, like, I fucking hate chess.
That's why checkers is included too. You know, for the kids.
For the baby.
With the babies.
Okay. And as you guys are getting settled in, you can see Marumeru kind of slide off her long boots and she slides off her action. And then you see her like climb into the large hammock and she has the cookie jar in her lap. So Ding.
Have fun with that.
Your bed
Ding.
neighbor is Marumeru.
Oh, great. Oh, great. No.
You just got boy.
Hey, Ding, so much for best bed, huh?
You know?
Marumeru says, technically that's my pillar, but you can have it because I like you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Baby.
Baby.
And then Marumeru kind of rubs her belly and she's like, I think I got plenty of pillow on my person.
Well, I mean, if you take up all the bed, at least I have an alternative.
It's a large hammock. She doesn't even nearly like take up most of it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Still, you never know. Cool, we all got our beds now.
Yeah. So there's any point where you have treasures and stuff that you don't want to carry around, even though I don't track encumbrance, you can put them in your chest. I might have to provide a sheet where you can do that, so I'll probably do that between sessions. I had a lot to prepare for this one, so hop on! Alright, so you kind of see Marumeru kind of like swinging herself to sleep for a little bit. If you guys want to take a short rest for a few hours, you may.
Yeah.
Might as well.
I can't enchant anything, so sure.
So, the two of you that leveled last time, you can now use the max. All of your HP recovers, so you're at full HP.
Hell yeah.
This is not always the case for short rest. This is the case for short rest when you're in your hub.
Mm-hmm.
So, Maven, you're back at 9.
Hell
Dean,
yeah.
you're at 21.
Hell yeah.
And Rue, you're at 14.
Hell yeah.
So, those of you that leveled to 2, would you like to share what you gained on level 2 for everyone at home? What spell did you learn?
Let's see here. I learned Mage Armor, and I got 2 spells from Favored Soul, I believe, which is Charm Person and Disguise Self. And then
Very
an extra
nice.
slot.
And you also got access to Font of Magic.
Hell yeah.
So this means you have the ability to use your 2 sorcerer. Let me put this in good old VC for you, because this is an important feature. This means that you could have used a level 1 spell slot and then got it back before you short rested.
It's alright, I didn't even really use a spell.
So, Ding,
Uh-huh.
what did you gain? I can already tell you your spell. You gained 1 more level 1 spell slot, and you already know all the spells you can cast. So, what else? What else did you gain?
I also got Agonizing Blast, which basically, when I cast Eldritch, it adds my Charisma modifier as well to the damage.
To your damage.
To the damage. And I also gained Eyes of Runekeeper, which means I can read anything now.
You can read all text now.
This is going to be very
you can read the literal meaning of it. So if it's written in code, if it says like, if someone writes like, the fast red fox jumps over the lazy brown dog, you can read what that says, but you won't understand what it means if it's code.
Oh, I see.
So that's how it's used. And these are called Eldritch Invocations. You got to pick 2. And as you level more, you get to pick more. I don't see which level that is at the moment, and that's not very important. So each of you kind of relax and lay back. Do any of you sleep, or do you just lay in your bed just like, ah?
Rue just lays back.
Dane sleeps.
Maven also sleeps.
Marume is still awake, just crunching at cookies. It seems like the cookie jar never ends.
Unlimited cookies.
Cause like, do you know how like you'll buy a case of Oreos and you'll fucking destroy a sleeve of it really easily? Marume is kind of doing that, but she's destroyed the whole box of Oreos. So, Rue, with you being awake, do you want to talk to Marume at all, or are you just gonna be like thinking everything over?
Rue's gonna look over at her eating the cookies.
Hey, you mind passing one over here?
How about you make me a persuasion check with disadvantage?
No. 10.
So, 15. Marumeru underhandedly tosses you 1 chocolate chip cookie.
Something.
You also notice her gloves were off, and she has like very large, soft hand beans that are pink, like her nose.
Kitty beans. Rue brings the cookie to her mouth, audibly crunching.
Crunchy cookie.
So
And you notice this is the best cookie you've ever eaten.
Hell yeah!
Like
Rue's
it is leagues beyond any confectionery you have placed to your mouth.
Is this because you've been playing?
Rue's eyes widen after the first bite, staring up at Maru.
Hey, these are pretty good. Who made these?
Jamie's like, I spoiled it. Marumeru,
Jamie comes out of nowhere.
I did. No, Marumeru is like eats like a whole cookie to bite. She's like, Miss Jamie did. She's the best.
Rue audibly whispers, more so to herself than Maru.
Oh, props to the chef then.
And after a minute, you see Marumeru kind of put her finger up to her ear, the same one she did earlier, and tilts her head. She doesn't say anything, she's just kind of listening.
Rue's ears twitch, staring at her, trying to see if she can hear anything that Maru is.
Cannot. But she lets her hand off of her ear for a second. She's like, so, do you remember that mushroom girl you were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
What did she look like?
Well, actually, now that you mention it, I do remember. She had a mushroom head. It was brown. And she seemed kind of grumpy. Have you ever seen a jack-o'-lantern with, like, the weird, fucked up, jagged, like, mouth? She had one of those.
Marmir's all like, what is a jack-o'-lantern?
Rue decides to wave it off.
Well, all you really need to know is that they have this very angular, jagged mouth that's supposed to be spooky.
She makes a motion to her own pointed teeth.
Sharp teeth can be beautiful too, you know.
And then Marimar was like, ah, like these. And she opens her mouth, and you can see that she also has, like, large, sharp teeth. Except the top row of her teeth between her canines are flat, and you can see there's a visible gap in the middle of them.
Oh.
Rue shakes her head a bit, remembering what she was talking about.
Oh, and she also had this really disheveled blue hair. Have you seen anyone like that around here?
And then you see Marimar kind of tilt her head over, and she's like, yeah, did they have blue hair, a brown mushroom, and kind of a grumpy disposition? And then Marimar releases her ear, and she's like, what color were her eyes?
Rue squints a bit, thinking to herself, before snapping her fingers.
They were yellow.
Okay. And then she puts her finger back on her ear, and she's like, yeah, it's the one. It's the same one. Oh, okay. Alright. Okay, thank you. So, she releases her ear again. And then Marimar speaks up as she's like, nibbles on another cookie, as she does. She's like, well, I gotta admit that earlier, when I was over in the sparring area, there was another... I thought it was Puko, but I thought it was weird how she was a little bit taller than usual. I wonder what was going on with that. Because I know Puko. Puko's my favorite. But it was a little weird. She was a little tall. She feels like she spoke in third person. I thought Puko was just being silly, so I gave her a biscuit. How did she do that?
Rue raises her eyebrows a bit.
Is this the first time something like that has ever happened? Like, people getting attacked by kobolds? There hasn't been anything particularly strange happening around here, has there?
And then after a minute, Marimar is like, did you see kobolds anywhere else? Did you perhaps see kobolds when you were talking to Hergrim?
Oh, I thought she was speaking into her ear. I'm sorry.
No, she's speaking into you.
Kobolds?
You know, lizard people. Is there anywhere else in Birchback Burrow you might have seen them?
Rue blinks, confusion apparent on her face before she remembers the violent fungi.
Wait, I have actually.
She puts her. She sits up a bit.
Has Hergrim told you about the violent fungi we got rid of for him?
Marimar kind of nods her head and she's like, yeah, he was projecting an illusion while y'all were talking, and I saw the whole thing. Y'all really did a number on that there fungi.
Hmm.
And then Marimar puts her finger to her ear again, just like, hey, Graham! Did you receive any kobolds in the past couple days? Uh-huh. Oh, okay. And then she takes her finger off her ear and she's like, it's funny, because Hergrim has seen this girl too. This girl was the one that brought those kobolds over to Hergrim.
So that's why the violent fungi were growing there. I remember they were growing from their carcasses or something.
Yeah, Hergrim said, I saw it myself, they're growing out of their bellies.
Rue shivers a bit in disgust.
Ugh, that's some nasty fungi right there.
Huh. Okay, so, you've seen her. I've seen her. Jamie was the only one that seems to have seen her earlier, given what went on. Jamie told me what was going on. I was really confused as to why she was asking me for something that wasn't in food storage. I know I'm a little food motivated, but I know there weren't no more biscuits in that food storage. I just opened it up because she asked me to.
Does anybody around here know her? Is she new around town? It's so strange that everybody's seen her and yet nobody knows who she is.
Maramator puts a cookie to her chin and taps it, trying hard to not break it before it goes into her mouth, and she goes as she eats it. And she's like, oh, I got an idea. And she puts her fingers on her ear again. She's like, hey, Puko. Puko. But turn off the alembic set, honey. I can't hear you. That's better. Say, Puko, have you seen another mushroom girl about your size, a little bit taller than you, brown cap, blue hair? That's weird. Were you looking in the mirror? Were you using the stool to look in the mirror? I know I put it up a little too high. I'm sorry, honey.
Baby.
You were outside this morning, and you weren't looking at water? Okay. Please tell that Grim. He needs to know that. Okay. Thank you. And she takes her finger off her ear again. She's like, well, you'll never guess that Puko also saw Puko. This morning, Puko went to the apothecary, but before she knew it, another Puko walked into the apothecary, and as soon as she drew the curtains while she was working on her scientific experimentations, it turned and left. And
Really?
Puko said she was very sure that she is the real Puko when she woke up this morning.
That's so strange.
Looks at her feet thoughtfully.
Have kobolds ever been here before you've been seeing this girl around?
Maramator shakes his head. She's like, no, I see kobolds a lot in the wild, but never in direct sunlight. I don't know if you know, but kobolds don't see too well in sunlight, so they stay underground most of the time. Underground.
Rue's ears twitch, looking up Otmar again.
So what you're basically telling me is, she wasn't only our problem, she seems to be everyone's problem around here.
And then Maramator's like, well, I don't know. Old Grim and Jamie have brought her a meal in the food storage, and they're gonna try to talk to her. But I feel like maybe we could do a little bit of investigation on our own and put together the rest of this mystery.
Rue nods her head.
Sounds good to me.
Maramator gets a letter opener, and she starts tapping the side of her cookie jar. And then the both of you that are kind of sleeping, kind of groggily, wake up like...
What? Oh, jeez. What? What?
Say,
What's going on?
the two of y'all that was around here the other day,
Uh-huh.
did you find anything out of place on the establishment?
Ding is still trying to, like, wake up mentally. The what?
Can you repeat that last word? The what?
The establishment.
The
I think-
Establishment.
Just around the area.
Did you find anything that was a little weird? Other than the weird mushroom girl. We all know that's a little weird.
For what it's worth, she thought that her Grim had the key to the storage.
Oh yeah.
If that's any significance.
And then Marmir's like, oh, well, Mr. Grimm asked for it, so I'll let him borrow it for now. Jamie gives it to me because if any of the food goes missing, it's on my head, so I don't dare touch what's in there.
Oh.
Is that why all the beans were gone?
No, I bought those. Was there anything else around the establishment that was a little strange when you were around here today? Other than the kobolds, other than the mushroom girl?
I mean, the first thing we saw was the well, the broken well, but I doubt that has any significance.
Marumira's eyes kind of go distant as she looks across the room. And she slowly puts her fingers up to her ear. And she says, "Hey, Grim, do you remember a whale on the establishment anywhere?"
Thing kind of like perks up like, what? Wait.
Well,
Marumir perks up and says, "Where is this whale? There has never been a whale here."
His face kind of goes pale.
Wait. There hasn't?
No, never.
But it was over there. There were footprints leading into it and everything. You're saying that wasn't anyone here?
There was even money in it.
you mean
I've lived here. I've lived here for 6 moons. That's 6 months. And there has not been a whale on this establishment. And then she's like, tries to get out of her hammock. Let me roll for that.
false?
Oh, wow. Disadvantage with 18. Not bad. Holy crap. It's not... She gets out of her hammock, and she slides her action over her head, and she slides her gloves on her hands, and she starts putting her long boots on. She's like, "Could you show me where this whale is?"
Sure.
Rue quickly stands up.
You'll need to carry
Hell
me though.
yeah.
Rue perks up, looking at the...
Dang, wait a minute. Do you remember what those kobolds we fought the other day dropped? I think those were the missing parts to the well.
Oh my god, you're right. Here, quickly. I can lead you to the way to the well really quickly.
Rue snatches up Dings, sliding her on her back as she shoots out the door.
This way.
Yes, we're going.
Oh,
Go.
you coming along too, Maven?
Maven grabs his tear and follows along.
Okay. So you all head over to the well, and you actually see, it's not only you that's there. Jamie is also there, and Hergrim is there, and you see the ragged girl there again. And then Marmir's like, "Oh, Grim, Jamie, I didn't expect to see you here at all." And then Hergrim is like, "This one didn't expect to see these ones neither." Pray tell, whom else did not notice the wellspring? And every single inhabitant of Birchback Burrow raises their hand. Hergrim, Puko, Marumeru, and Jamie all raise their hand. None of them knew that well was there.
That is so weird. It looks like this well's been here for like ages.
I thought you guys would have noticed it. I noticed
All
it.
these footprints.
That was the first thing I noticed.
And then the ragged girl steps forward and she bows for a moment and she's like, "Me sorry for lie to you. Me know what go on."
Huh?
You see, underneath well is cavern. Big cavern. Me tribe, me family lived there. Long time. Then red lizards. Red lizards come in. Red lizards take over. Red lizards tell us. Tell us. Red lizards tell us, dedicate worship to kobold deity Kartulmak Shining One, or else we make you. Initially, everyone say no. And then, the tempering happened. And you can kind of see her put her hands over her face, and she kind of shakes a little bit. And then Puko's eyes kind of slam shut for a moment, and she puts her long vine arms kind of over her face and on her forehead. And then Hergrim's like, tempering? What is tempering? And then Puko speaks up. He's like, Uncle, the voices are screaming at me. Tempering means that whenever people are tempered, it erases all sense of self and leaves the victim with only the desire to serve the deity. These people had their personalities erased to give tribute to this god. And then the ragged girl nods. She's like, yes, true. Nice ladies, nice children, nice mans. No longer nice. They mine at the walls. Shout the name Kortolmak. We serve Kortolmak till last breath. The ones that escape. They have taste of their own mushroom cap, driven mad. Not me, though. One day, I lay down to sleep in the shadows, and then I wake up in bright grass I cannot see, and then I see fat cat enjoy biscuit. Me like biscuit. I also notice other mushroom walk around. I naturally disguise myself. Now I mushroom accepted. I get biscuit. And then Marmair is like, wait, so what about this well? And then the ragged girl nods, is like, oh yes. Well come from cavern below, where tribe live. Well was not always on overworld. Me was not always in overworld. Sun bright, sun icky, sun no like. Hurt eyes. And then she kind of looks down to kind of tip her mushroom cap toward the setting sun to get it out of her eyes. And then Hergrim kind of puts his hand to his chin. He's like, and he snaps his fingers like, this one thinks bad things are to occur. So what this little one is saying is that this cavern is coming, and then the little mushroom nods and says, yes. Cavern come up to top, bring nasties to top with it.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Is where well come from. Not always there. As soon as I see well, I take parts away. I hide them. So you do not go down there. You do not see the bad things. So the red lizards do not temper you too.
So then why did the red lizard have him?
The red lizard find me. To slow them down, I throw down well parts to hide.
Huh.
I do not want to go back. Last surviving member of tribe. The red lizard will come back soon.
Well, we had to do something about it, right?
Rue steps forward towards the well.
Well, I say if this well is bringing something bad, then how about we smash it?
Well, I don't think it's just the well. It's underneath it. It doesn't matter if the well's there or not. There's still going to be stuff underneath that are trying to come up.
Well, then how about we go down there and teach them a lesson, huh? Make them never want to come up here ever again.
Hey Puko,
Yeah?
does well have money?
Oh my god.
Puko shrugs her shoulders. He's like, did you see any shinies at the bottom?
I did.
Might have money.
I'm in.
Brilliant.
And then Marmair steps forward and she's like, I'll go with you too. And then Hergrim's like, this one will attend. And then Jamie reaches up and kind of grabs Hergrim's hand. And she shakes her head like, no. Sir Hergrim, someone needs to stay here and watch after her. Clearly, something is going on in our home. and it seems that perhaps she has been here before we took residence in your home. So please stay behind and watch after her. We don't have much in the way of food to give anymore, but I'll prepare more and I'll stay here and explain how things go on in the overworld. If you would go down there and deal with it, it would save us a great headache. I don't expect you to say yes or no, but if you would rather tomorrow's problems be solved today, I won't stop you. However, if you go down, we're going to have to invent a way to get you out of there.
We do have that bucket.
Yeah, that's right. The parts. Could you do anything with the parts?
Do you want to put the parts back onto the well?
Yes.
Okay. So as you're looking at these parts, you can tell that the crank connects to the iron bar. And you can place it onto the well. It snaps in place. It's actually fairly rigid. It's not, like, wobbly at all. And then you tie the rope to the bucket. And then you tie the rope to the spool. You notice that the rope is only about 30 feet long, though. Does anyone want to make a perception check down the well?
I'll do it.
Perception.
Alright, roll me a d12.
Fuck, too.
Oh, I got a 12.
Got a 2.
Okay, so, Maven, are you, proficient in perception?
Yes.
Okay, and what is your wisdom modifier?
-1.
Okay. So, Maven, when you look down the well, you can tell that it is much further than 30 feet.
That rope is way too short.
As you're leaning forward, though, part of a brick collapses, and you hear a sploosh at the bottom. There is fairly deep water at the bottom of this well.
Rue gets an
Well.
idea, her eyes widening.
Hang on, I have a suggestion.
What's
She
up?
pulls out her whip.
Do you think maybe we could use this to lengthen it?
That looks like it could work.
So you're going to tie your whip onto the rope to give it some extra length?
Yeah.
Okay, so you tie your whip to... Do you want to tie it to the end of the rope holding the bucket, or do you want to tie it to the iron bar to give it more support?
I'm gonna tie it to the end of the rope.
To the end of the rope. Very good. Okay. So as Marumeru steps forward to go with you, Puko's like, Miss Maru, wait! If these kobolds recognize this girl's voice and her appearance, I have another idea. And what Puko does is, from her smock, she pulls out a vial of transparent liquid. And at this point, the ragged girl is kind of crying into her hands a little bit, while Hergrim is kind of bent down and Jamie is like patting her on the back. And what Puko does is she reaches over and grabs one of her tears off onto her finger, and she deposits it into the vial. And as Puko drinks it, you can see that the color of her hat, instead of being orange, changes to a similar brown color. Her tan color of skin turns into a sickly pale color that is the color of the ragged girl's skin. And her clothes match her clothing colors. Otherwise, she keeps all of her physical possessions and appearances, but she has changed colors to look like the ragged girl.
I see. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then she's like, we're going to have one of us recognizable, because we don't know the relationship they hide, the relationship they have between one another. I will go with you. I will help you. And then Marumeru's like, oh, but I can help. Come on, just take a look. And then Marumeru tries to climb into the well, and her belly and butt, like, get her stuck in the well.
Sad.
Oh, God.
And then after a few minutes, she's like, well, looks like I'm not going to be able to go with y'all this time.
Rue
Alright.
gets an idea and bends over to Puko's height, sort of.
Do you think maybe I could try and sneak in there?
Sneak in there. What do you mean?
Well, clearly those kobolds aren't that friendly to anyone else except themselves, right?
Okay.
What if I took the form of a kobold and snuck my way in there? You know, to get a lay of the land, so to speak.
Puko puts her finger on her chin. She's like, are you sure you want to do that? Because, like, as you look around, you can see that the template kobolds that you see are battered. One of their necks are crooked.
God.
One is missing its arm, and one's scales are almost completely burned off of its hide. So you don't have a very good template of a kobold to work with, but you may try if you want. So describe to me what form you're going to take. You may do that. Describe the way you would like to appear, and I will make it so.
Rue takes the form of a 4-foot kobold. She appears draconic in, or whatever you call it, reptilian. But instead of a dark, what's it called? Instead of a dark scarlet hide, her scales appear to be somewhat magenta, just slightly tinged. Though her eyes are very sharp and almost see through everybody she looks at. Though her features are a bit more rounded, her horns are decently lengthy and pointed at the ends.
Oh shit. I actually have to stop you. You're going to be a medium kobold. You can't appear as a creature of a different size than you.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So you can continue doing it, but you will be of your same size.
Yeah.
Would
I'll be a medium kobold.
Okay, gotcha.
My clothes.
Okay, yeah, your clothing and other equipment don't change in appearance, size, or shape, so you're wearing the same thing. Cool. I just need to pull up the homebrew page to make sure I run this accurately, because I have been known to fuck things up.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Okay,
Maven is
great.
both horrified and intrigued by her transformation.
And then you see the ragged girl kind of clap her hands like, wow, how'd you do that?
As Rue speaks, her voice is noticeably deeper and a little bit more scraggly.
Well, let's just say it comes naturally to me.
Okay. So,
Well,
Puka's also like, while you've been doing all this transforming and stuff, you can kind of see her putting her hands to her temples. And then she steps forward and says, the voices are telling me to go with you. The voices are telling me to punish all the bad lizards. And then after a moment, she reaches into her smock pocket, and you see her pull out an orange crystalline yo-yo.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
wow.
Okay, so you've attached everything to the well, and you're ready to go down. Who goes first? How do you go down?
I think I'll go first.
Okay.
Rue grabs a strong hold of the rope, carefully making her way down. With her new form, it seems she has no trouble having a strong grip of the rope. And she carefully looks below her, making sure she's used all the length of the rope before dropping down.
How much does Rue weigh?
I don't think I have like a specific weight. I just wrote like heavy set.
Okay, after a moment, you can see that the lining of the worm-eaten rope that you tied to the bar begins to thin, and it breaks, sending yourself, the bucket, and thankfully your whip, since you tied it to the end, down into the darkness.
Oh,
Great.
fuck!
If you tied it the other way, the whip would have stayed above.
Oh my
Oh,
fucking
god damn it.
Well, that's good. At least you have your weapon.
Yep. Okay, so after a moment, you hear a loud and then Jamie and Hergrim step forward. Actually, Marumeru and Hergrim step forward, and she's like, "Here, guys, take these with you. You're gonna need them." And Ding and Maven, they pass you. This is a temporary key item. It's called a link pearl. When you wear this on your ear and you put your finger to it, you can communicate with someone else that has the link shell.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
And at this moment, it means that Jamie would have is the only one you can communicate with at this time. All right,
Okay.
so everyone else has got to go down there.
Maven, do you want to go next?
It's water. I
Like-
don't. I
Think
kind of
Chuckles.
don't want to, but I guess I have to.
This is gonna be entertaining.
How about you go first, Ding? You have tentacles, you can go.
Nah, I kind of want to see you go first, though. I want to see how you do it.
As you guys are doing this, Puko has climbed up into the well, and you see her legs kind of go over the edge as she goes down.
Oh god.
Oh my god!
Keep in mind, this is a 10-year-old girl.
Oh shit!
Baby. Ooh, boo, 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 boo.
Maven, seeing the small babby go into the well alone,
Small baby.
immediately just dives in head first,
Big laugh.
without a care in the world, just going down to save her.
She kind of like coughs a little bit, like to clear her throat, and she starts walking off the well, looking as if she's ready to like just jump off. But before she can fall in, her tentacle gets stuck on the wall on the inside, and she starts to casually just walk down the well with her arms crossed, her magic arms crossed.
Give me a strength save because the mossy walls are slippery.
Oh fuck! Okay.
Oh no.
Oh for fuck's sake! Can I reroll?
You want to use a lucky to
Roll
reroll
lucky.
it?
Yes.
Alright, remove 1 luck point and roll your dice. Yes, you only have 1 left!
Oh.
You don't recover lucky points on short rest.
Oh fuck! Whatever.
Oh,
You know
no.
what? I wasn't gonna take it.
Yes!
Do I reroll both dice or just roll the other dice?
You just roll another d20 and you can pick one of the 2 results you rolled. Was it worse?
Sounds like it didn't go well.
Oh no.
It wasn't worth it.
Alright, which number would you like to use?
Well, I have 1 or 9.
Well, it looks like you're gonna try and use
And
nine,
what is
And
your
then-
what's your strength score?
-1.
So it's an 8.
Yes, it's an
As you try to grip onto the side of the well, you lose your grip, and all of your tentacles slowly lose your grip until you're sliding down the edge of the well with 1 tentacle grabbed on.
8. At least I didn't fall on my face. Okay.
You didn't totally fall. Matter of fact, you land in the bucket somehow. Good job.
Amazing.
Awesome.
It wasn't worth it.
Oh, I'll discuss with you which. Well, no, now I have to explain why you were missing a luck point, so now I have to use that. Alright.
Great, now I have 1 luck point.
Hooray! I drained you a resource you could abuse!
F.
You know what? It's okay.
Alright.
I-
So, everyone, the 4 of you are in the bottom of a well, and the water that you're in, you see the thick blue outlines I've got?
Yeah.
That, for medium creatures, you are swimming. It is deeper than your feet. For the medium lines, you'd probably be about waist deep, or if you're a small creature, you are swimming.
Okay.
And for the thin blue outlines, that's like ankle deep water.
Oh, I see.
So it's either deeper or more shallow. You are surrounded on 3 sides by walls. That's what the black lines are. And the other areas that you can see are where light sources are. Unless you're looking in the upper left corner. That's just a legend for what's going on. Now, Rue, you hit the bottom of the well first.
Can I look around?
Roll me a Perceptionis check.
Alright, I got a 4.
You don't see much other than water surrounding water.
Can I take a look under the water?
You know what? That's free, actually. I'll let you do that. When you look beneath the water and open your eyes, you do see some glistening coins, but they're about 60 feet down.
Oh, fuck.
They're pretty deep in the water.
Good thing Dean didn't see that.
Well, you know what? You know what about that?
Oh no.
Rue pulls her head up, looking at Ding. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, Ding.
What's up?
You know, I'm seeing some, pretty shiny things down there. Think you might
Ding's-
want to take a look for us?
Ding's eyes start flickering. Oh hell yeah!
Oh,
She
God.
jumps out of the bucket into the water. She's now swimming. Oh, I see them!
And they are 60 feet down. How much swim speed do you have?
I have 25.
So it would take you 2-3 movement turns to swim down to retrieve coins.
Hold my hat.
Oh,
Girl,
God.
homie hat.
Without hesitation, Ding jumps in.
So do you want to move twice as far in one turn by dashing?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, now you're 10 feet away from the coins.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So what Puko is going to do is she's going to swim out of the deeper water, and she's going to go toward the south wall, and she is going to cast light on her yo-yo because she cannot see in the dark.
Oh.
Oh, she's the only one who can't see in the dark.
And
Okay.
that's all she's going to do. So Maven, you're in like waist deep water.
He wants to swim to the other side, like towards the west area, kind of near like where the little like, well, I guess northwest area.
Oh,
where
do you want
angle
to
water?
do you want to swim into the darkness?
Yeah.
Or okay. After your turn, Maven, you notice a startled winged kobold to your southwest.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
Just stay
And
there.
roll for initiative, except for Ding, whose initiative is 1 because you're under the water. So Maven, you are undoubtedly going first.
Fuck, I got a 2 beach.
What? So
Oh.
that is a 4 with your +2 initiative.
So,
And as long as we're on this floor, we're gonna keep the same initiative order. And the reason why you can see an A is because that is winged kobold A.
Fuck.
It is a female kobold that is not in the air at this moment. Hey guys, in the VOD, Sammy needed to drop out. So if you notice Ding is gone, Ding is not dead. Ding's player had to go. Maven,
Hello.
you're first in the initiative order. What would you like to do?
Since I'm decently far away from the kobold, I guess I would shoot my short bow at it.
Going to draw your short bow, make an attack roll toward her.
17.
So you fire your arrow toward her, and it strikes her in the wing. Appendage, roll for damage.
3 plus dex mod would be 5.
You deal 5 damage to her, and you notice that now she can't take off as a result of not having one of her wings. And she is bloodied. Next up is the winged kobold, and they are not very pleased with you. Okay, so the winged kobold is going to move toward you, and you notice in her offhand she is brandishing a crude dagger, which she thrusts toward your shoulder.
Oh
Does an 8 hit you?
no. For my, what would that,
I can tell you right now the answer is not a yes.
oh, it's a not.
Yeah, because hit rolls are compared against your armor class, or AC,
Oh, so yeah.
and
no,
if it meets it or exceeds it, it's a hit, but in this case it does
Okay.
not. So she thrusts the dagger toward you with an overhanded motion, and she like completely goes wide. So Puko hears the arrow whistle through the air and hit the kobold, and what Puko is going to do is she's gonna raise her wrist, and she's gonna be like, "There's one of them now!" And she raises her wrist, and you see an orange capped mushroom that's petrified on her wrist, and she clasps her wrist, and she is casting a spell. This is Ray of Frost. 4 plus 2 plus... Unfortunately, this Ray of Frost goes wide. It does not land on the kobold. She kind of puts her arms down. She's like, "Oh, I missed. Shoot!" And now, Rue, it is your turn.
can I cast Witch Bolt, please?
Witch Bolt? Sure. Okay, go ahead and make a spell attack.
A 14.
Okay, that's a hit. So roll your 1d12 lightning damage.
I got a 12.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
Okay, so describe how you absolutely decimate this poor kobold lady.
I rub my fingers together, parting my arms wide before clapping forward. A large bolt of lightning launching towards the kobold, absolutely eviscerating her and leaving nothing but a charred corpse on the floor.
Also,
Please don't be mistaken, I respect women.
Okay. With that, Puko's all like, "Wow, you fried that thing."
Maven looks at Rue, both kind of annoyed but also impressed. Way to steal my kill. Is it possible to move behind that cover?
It most certainly is. Oh, that's the wrong layer. I keep moving the darkness around.
The darkness!
10,
Oh, he's gonna
15,
swallow us.
20, 25, 25, 30. To your south side, you can see another startled winged kobold.
Oh no!
You kidding me?
Fortunately, you still have your action.
Can it see me?
It can.
Damn it! Okay,
It was waiting for you to not notice it.
Short bow time.
Short the bow time, make an attack roll. Let me translate its stats over here so I can keep track of its life.
Seriously, fucking rolled another 17.
Okay, that is absolutely a hit, without question.
And that was a 2 with Dex mod. That's 4.
So as you strike this winged kobold, you can see it recoil as you shoot it like right through its forearm. You can see him hiss and writhe as he gets back toward his feet, and it's Puko's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, she only has 25 feet of movement because she's small.
Yeah.
So what Puko's going to do is she's going to raise her hand, and as she twiddles her fingers, you can see a skeletal hand come from the center of her hand. It makes its way toward the winged kobold bee. And you can see the kobold recoil as this skeletal hand wiggles its fingers like, whoa, as it gets closer and closer. Okay, that is absolutely a hit. So this skeletal hand grips directly onto the kobold's, like, snout. As it does, it is assailed with the chill of the grave. You can see it shiver and shake as it takes 2 points of necrotic damage. And now it cannot recover HP until the end of Puko's next turn.
Oh, wow.
And now it's the winged kobold's turn. So winged kobold B is going to fly. I'm going to have to move it above your space, Mr. Sir, because it's above you. And what it's going to do is it's going to release one of the rocks tied to its back to drop a rock on you. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Is that a +5 to hit? I think that is, actually. Does a 16 hit you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Okay. The rock falls directly onto your shoulder and bowls you down, dealing 6 bludgeoning damage to you.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Ow. I'm at 3 damage. I'm at 3 health now.
And
Shit.
when you're below half health, that's called bloodied.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, since Witch Bolt did not sustain against the target because it died, the Witch Bolt effect is gone.
I'm gonna move towards Puko.
He's going to move west all 30 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, 10, 20, 30.
Alright, then I guess I'm gonna cast Firebolt.
Firebolt! Make a spell attack! Just tell me the roll and I'll do the math for you.
15.
Oh, that's a hit, undeniably. Roll your 1d10 for damage.
Alright, I got a 7 each.
So, would you like to describe how you kill this thing, too?
Oh, I'm stealing all of Mavin's kills. Rue makes a sweeping motion with her arms, sending a bolt of fire towards the kobold, its body quickly being lost to the flames as it too becomes a charred corpse.
Oh no.
Maven moves out the way of the body falling since it's 30 feet above my head.
Oh yeah.
I will allow that for free. Which side would you like to duck
Okay.
beside it, friend?
North.
On the north side between both? Alright.
Yeah.
Just for you. Okay,
Oh, God.
so Puko puts up her hand and her palm toward you. And then she says, boo-boo! And you recover. This is healing word, by the way.
Yeah.
I love it.
Boop,
You recover 5 hit points.
boop. Aw, shit.
Nice.
So that means I'm at 8. That's so cute.
Yeah, she's a little girl.
I love Puko. I wish nothing but the best for her.
And that was her action, but she still has movement, so what... I was about to cheat and unveil the darkness. I'm like, no, don't cheat. She's gonna move northwest 5 tiles. Boop. And she ends her turn, so... Rue.
I'd like to cast Dancing Lights.
Oh shit, I didn't even think that you could do this. Alright, so...
Hell yeah.
Good thing I have a copy paste for a light source, because I'm going to need it. Alright. Okay, Randy. 10, 20.
Control
Okay, Good. I actually put it in the right spot. I was like, I almost put you like 1 east of where you should have been. Like 3 times. I'm like, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Okay. So that's your action, that's your movement, that's the end of your turn. Let me just roll a dice for no reason. Don't mind me. Nothing eventful happens. So what was that? Northeast 10? Or northeast 20?
Northeast 20, north 10.
Okay. You still have 10 feet of movement.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you have 40 feet.
Northeast, another 10.
Okay. Hey, Maven, how about you make me a perception check? Because now you can kind of see the frame of that door up ahead.
Fuck. 1.
Oh no.
Oh, well, you already know what the result is then.
Yup, nothing.
What's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna call that a failure. You can see the hinges of a door up ahead to your right, but you can't see it in explicit detail.
It looks like a door, but I can't tell.
Okay, so Puko is going to speak to Rue, and she's going to be like, what do you think we should do next? Do you think we should go where Maven's going, or should we split?
Rue looks down at Puko.
I think we should stay together.
And then Puko giggles, is like, yeah, we don't know what's down here. We should stick together.
Alright.
And then she moves northwest 10 feet. Not northwest, northeast. I'm a dummy! Duh.
Mood.
15 feet. There we go. That way she's just due west of the wall. So Puko can definitely see the door up ahead, and she turns to Maven and is like, hey, Maven, there's a latch on that door. I don't think I'm going to be able to open it. And now it is time for Rue.
It is time for Big Lizard Beach.
How long does
Yeah.
that last? Let's see. Yada, 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 yada. No, there's no time limit on it. What the fuck? I might have to put one, but that's fine for now.
I can't believe Rue's been OP this entire time. Alright, can I bring one of these lights, north? I'm just gonna do north.
So you said 20 northeast?
Yeah.
If you go... Are you trying to stay between the 3/4 and the full on the northwest side? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you go to this spot, you bump into a winged kobold and she's like, Sister! What are you doing? There are dangerous ones about. What are you doing?
Dang. I can't believe I gotta roll. Okay.
Just tell me what you're gonna do and then we'll resolve it.
Is it a male or a female? Rue tries to keep a straight face, a harsh glare in her eyes.
I'm hunting for the ones who have invaded, brother.
Have you seen anything?
And then and then the kobold looks you up and down and it's like, strange. All kobolds have crimson red scales, not pink.
Rude.
And then also he says, there was only one female in this pack. You don't look like Naja. Roll for deception with disadvantage.
Fuck. Okay. Well, I got a whole ass fucking one, bitch. I am fucked.
Okay, so as the kobold realizes that you are indeed not of their kin, it grabs a cowbell off of its waist, and it begins to bang it against the rock, and you hear the sound reverberate through the entire cavern. And he shouts, Brothers! Brothers! We have a fake kobold amongst us! Come and get the nasties! And you immediately hear activity liven up through the entire cave. The two humanoids sitting by the fire begin looking up toward you. Because now you're illuminated by light, so now they can see you.
Maven
God damn it.
What the fuck did you do?
This is so fucked. Rue shrugs her shoulders, a look of panic on her face.
And unfortunately, you did not spend 1 minute talking to it. It found you out quick, so that's why you didn't get advantage on that check.
God
Just in case you were wondering. I read that part and I'm like, did I run that fair? I think I did, because it's like, wait a minute.
God damn it.
Pro tip, you killed a female kobold earlier. If you took her form, you probably could have succeeded on that check.
But I didn't know there was only one!
That's exactly why I put her there at the very beginning.
No!
Killed her. No.
I am pissed. I am pissed.
So now you know how the Dungeon Master thinks.
Randy, I'm going to kill you and kill you again.
You monopolied us.
You japed us.
Get used to this,
japed
because
us.
this is my job. It's to put puzzle pieces in front of you and smile as you don't put them together.
I'm gonna roll to beat the shit out of Randy.
Rolls a 1.
And this is both of your actions, so the kobold does not, it does not, like, try to attack you, but it does snitch on you. So let me update that position, because it's above you now.
Fuck my ass, this sucks.
Okay, so guess what I get to do now?
Oh no.
I get to add the initiatives for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monsters to the initiative order.
7 monsters?
7
I'm
monsters.
going to die. This
Whoa.
sucks.
Don't say that.
Don't say that or else it will come true.
I'm not going to.
And as you're listening through the darkness, you hear the howls of what sounds like dogs,
Oh no.
and you hear the grunting and heavy breathing of a humanoid that does not seem like it's had much sunlight or exercise anytime soon. Oh no! Oh hey, there's a second female in here.
You
God
lied.
damn it!
Maybe she's just really ugly.
Damn.
God damn it.
You know what? I'll put you before the other one.
Look! It's not my fault I'm very beautiful.
Oh, actually, you know what? You were talking to the ugly female kobold. That's the one that found you out.
Oh, why didn't she assume I was her? Maybe she just secretly didn't like her sister, and she's like, "Fuck this bitch." Set her up.
Maybe she might have done it anyway if it was your sister. Okay, so the second null. Okay.
You know what, Maven? If you're so smart, why don't you impersonate a kobold, you bitch?
I killed 2 of them, but you
No,
stole both of my
bitch.
kills.
I killed the bitch.
You stole both of my kills.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So you see a female gnoll stand straight up, and she draws her bow back, and she's going to make a longbow shot directly toward Rue.
No, bitch.
Oh fuck.
15
Where is
plus.
she
Does a 17 hit you?
Oh
Yes.
You take 8 piercing damage.
god.
God.
Oh.
Damn it. This sucks. Alright.
I wanted to give you guys a nice stealth section.
Oh.
Well, so much for stealth now.
Alright, guess what, Maven? It's your turn. Keep in mind your surroundings, though.
Oh yeah, the cover too.
Yeah.
That's why I gave you cover in case it happened. Dude.
I'm gonna move behind the cover, the 3/4 cover. That's right next to Rue. And I'm going to try and shoot at the kobold over Rue.
Okay, so unfortunately...
Worst time.
What? No, it's not behind cover. Okay. Go ahead and do it. Make your attack roll.
11.
You fire your arrow, and it misses the flap of her wing. It was a narrow miss.
Damn it.
Narrow.
Are you saying she had a 12?
Narrow miss.
Damn it.
And after this, Puko is going to move closer to you, maybe. And she's going to get behind the full cover. Actually, you know what? She's going to get beside you. And she is going to cast chill touch against the wing kobold above his head. That's a hit. That's an 18. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Was that 1d8 or 1d6? I always forget with these fucking spells. Rate of Frost. 1d8. Okay. Woohoo! So the ugly kobold takes 3 points of cold damage, and she can only move 20 feet on her next turn. So she's kind of blasted with the cold energy, and her wings begin to frost up, and she has trouble flapping them. And she's all like, "Oh, wretched mushroom, why? Why do you do this? We're just trying to survive just like you." And then Puko is going to move 5 more feet to take refuge behind the full cover. I'm going to do a morality die. If you're not sure if your character would or would not do something, you can roll d20, and it'll help you make a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd say that. She's beside you, Maven. She says, "Maven, if we can get through that door, we can lock it behind us and we'll be safe." Do you think that's more important right now?
I mean, better than dealing with all of these people.
Bitch.
The kobold made me think, is survival more important than glory?
Yeah, you have a point.
Okay. And with that, it is... So the Grimlock does not seem very intelligent as it moves. How much movement do you have, sir? 30 feet. North. And then it uses its dash action to dash... Oh, wow. It uses its other 30 feet to dash northeast.
Oh,
where it can hear the flapping of wings. So what the... No, it's Null A's turn. He kind of grunts and gets up. Is this Null dumb? Let's find out. Are you dumb? Yes, you are dumb! What the Null is going to do is it's going to grab a spear off of its back, and it's going to attempt to throw it all the way over. It's gonna throw its spear at Grimlock C. It's a dum-dum. That's a hit. Oh god.
Oh god, they're hitting their own men.
Spear +4 to hit. Oh my god. This thing might be dead.
Did you kill your own man?
Maybe I might have.
G fucking G dog.
And this Grimlock
Wow.
takes 5 + 2, 7 points of damage. Where's Grimlock C? There he is.
Is Grimlock C dead?
You can definitely see that this Grimlock is not happy, and it turns toward the west, toward both Knolls. Alright, and you know, guess whose turn it is? it's the Grimlock's turn that just got... And what the Grimlock's going to do is it's going to attempt to knock into Knoll B with its bone club. Getting an 11. How much hit is that? That's a hit. Okay. Oh no. Okay. So, it smashes the Knoll B over the head with its bone club, dealing 6 bludgeoning damage, and then you also see the bones that are poking through the rest of the club pierce into its skull for an additional 4 piercing damage.
Oh,
God.
shit.
Wing Kobold is going to fly 60 feet to the east, and then it's going to use its dash action to fly northeast 25 feet and east 5 more feet. I'm not even going to narrate the Grimlock East turn, because I think it's just going to be running. Yeah, it's going to be running. They're dumb, so they going to run. Wing Kobold D. Oh no, it's Wing Kobold D's turn! Alright. So the Wing Kobold D notices that there are more foes around her, and she's like, "I don't care about the rest of you whelps. I'm here to take care of the faker." And she drops another rock off of her back upon your head. Does an 18 hit you?
I'm at 6.
Oh, fuck.
You're at 6 HP?
Yes.
Oh
I
god,
don't
well
like
guess
the way
what?
you said that.
Now you're at 0.
Oh, fuck.
I hate my fucking life.
And as you slump to the ground, you revert back to your full form. You cannot use that until you take a long rest again.
Fuck.
So now you are no longer kobold. And you see the you see the winged kobold be like laugh and cackle like, ha ha! I told you she was the fake one! And then she sees the sheer amount of monsters running toward the east, and she's like, oh brothers, we have a problem! Now Nolby is not so happy that her mate is being attacked by a fat gray man, so she is going to grab her spear with 2 hands and attempt to stab Tubby. Oh god.
Infighting.
I hit the lip of my dice tray and it fell out, but it fell on a 4, so that was not a hit. It was a total whiff. And, Rue, would you like to make a wound saving throw for me?
17.
Alright, that is 1 success. Alright, Maven, we're back to you.
This went from lovely to terrifying.
Yeah, that's what dungeons are like if you're reckless. Alright, Maven, what you gonna do, son?
I guess the best thing I could do is... Okay, so... The 3 that are... Like, the 3 little fuckers that are to the west, they're just fighting each other, right?
Correct, they are infighting.
Kobold C is looking after Kobold D, right?
Correct.
And then this guy above them...
He's coming toward... He's generally running toward the east. You want to make me a hot perception check, just for free?
Yeah.
Roll me a d12.
11.
Okay, so 11. That is a... Oh, hey, 13. You notice the Grimlocks seem to have their eyes squinted shut? On closer inspection, it seems they didn't develop eyes at all.
Oh, so they're just blindly running. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I turn to Puko and ask, since those guys they're blind, they can't see. If we open the latch to the door, they're probably gonna run in right behind us. What do we do if that happens?
And then Puko thinks for a second. Morality dice! Okay, I can say whatever I want. That's a nat 20. Puko looks around on the ground. He says, you see these stones?
Mm-hmm.
They react to sound, right?
Oh, misdirection. I like your thinking. Okay. Okay. So, I take it as that would be my action, right?
I'll make it a free action.
Oh shit.
Go ahead, I'll give you a free action to do that if you want. Because it's,
Okay.
I didn't show you the combat flowchart, but on the combat flowchart, it says, like, interaction, which is a free action, and there's, like,
Yeah.
and something else that says, like, a small motion. So, like, just pitching a rocket.
I'm gonna throw a stone towards the east, and I'm assuming I can only throw it like 30 feet.
The safe distance for throwing weapons is about 20. You're gonna throw it to the east?
Actually no.
I was
No,
about-
not east. I'm dumb. West.
Yeah, I thought you
thinking-
meant
I was thinking-
west. I was like, what?
I was thinking west. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, east? I thought you meant west.
Here. Boop. There. That's gonna be our little secret. It's our happy little stone. Don't tell anyone. Alright, what else would you like to do? You still have an action, you still have movement.
Okay, I would move to the doors.
The Doors of Doom!
The doors of doom.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put you in the space for one of those doors. How's that? Here we go.
That's good.
Alright. So, from here, I'm guessing you're gonna want to make a perception or investigation check, yes?
Yeah, I'll probably do investigation.
Investigation on this? Okay, give me a d12.
8. And I'm proficient in it, and I have +3 in that. So that is 13.
11. Oh, wait.
Okay.
These.
So you do notice that there is a metal latch on the door. It just seems to be a simple deadbolt wrought from iron. So, would you like to interact with it at all?
I do have my thieves' tools. So maybe I could try and pick it?
You would like to pick the lock, yes?
Yes.
Considering it is a simple lock, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check. That's the check. So that's a dexterity check.
18.
Okay, So, you're going to be working on that for the next action, but that is a success.
Hell yeah.
That is a resounding success. Man, I set that at it's a simple lock. Let's not make it too hard. Let's say 13. It's Puko's turn next. So what Puko is going to do is she's going to move back toward the cover, and between the rocks she's going to reach out her hand, and she's going to cast Cure Wounds on you.
Oh, we.
Tell you what, you guys want to know a little secret?
Sure.
Puko has second level spell slots.
Oh, we.
So she
Hello.
is going to upcast it to level 2, and she's going to heal you by 2d8.
Ooh.
Okay, so holy shit. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
You recover 17 HP.
Well,
Hell yeah, Beach.
I'm assuming that means you're at full health.
Yeah.
Oh really? Oh yeah, you are. I didn't even need to add the modifier.
14 HP, Beach. I'm a weak little baby.
And then what Puko is going to do is she is going to interpose herself between between your back and the open space in the cavern. Okay, so the Grimlock A. Here's the stone. Let me just do that with disadvantage. Okay, wow, that was advantage. That had been a crit if it was an attack roll, but it's not. It was a 5. So the Grimlock makes an investigation check and fails miserably, so he is going to head to the west, and he's going to bash the rock one. Bah! That's his turn. Grimlock B is going to dash to the source of the stone sound, and he's going to throw an attack toward Grimlock A. Because he's in the space of the stone. Getting a crit!
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I have to roll 4d4. Grimlock A, where are you, friend? Oh. Uh-oh. What if I told you I don't even need to add modifiers?
You killed it. It's dead.
Bruh.
So let me remove Grimlock A, but where the stone is. So Grimlock B pulls its club over its head two-handed, and it feverishly bashes in the skull of Grimlock A. After Grimlock A is dead, it slouches down and begins to consume its corpse immediately.
Oh.
Remember that Grimlocks are cannibals! Now, Null A is still kind of mad about the whole Grimlock C situation. So what he gonna do, he gonna get him spear, and he's gonna hold it two-handed. Okay, that's a hit. So he takes 7 points of damage. And Grimlock C is not doing so hot. He's on his last legs.
Oh no.
Who else do we got going here? It's Grimlock C's turn.
The one on its last legs.
And what Grimlock C is going to do is it's going to attempt to move out of range, but Null A catches it with his opportunity, still holding its spear two-handed, and it gets an attack of opportunity against it using its reaction. So if you move out of range of something, and you don't use the disengage action, this happens. It's scary, it's bad, and it's deadly, because that was a 19, that's a hit. Alright, spear! Oh, crap. Okay, so the Null... Was it Null B or Null A that just attacked? Null A. So what Null A does is it thrusts its spear through the Grimlock's chest and holds it up above its head, and it's impaled on the spear, and you kind of see it slide backward. And it slumps back onto the ground, and you can hear both the Nulls kind of... They're like hyenas, so they giggle, they go... and they both slump down and begin to eat the Grimlock. So, Rue, I have bad news for you.
Oh.
You don't have just one kobold above you anymore.
Oh, wonderful.
Now you have 2.
Fuck me ass.
And do you know what it's gonna do?
Oh,
Drop a
yes,
rock.
dude.
God, drop a rock on your head! Oh,
Shit.
doesn't 18 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Okay.
I get it.
So you take you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Whoops, I was wrong. It was a little bit.
Wonderful.
Where's Grimlock D at? What's he doing? Oh no. Are you ready? Oh, you know what?
What?
This will be a nice, happy little family moment. Are you ready?
Yes.
No.
So, Grimlock hearing the sound of a corpse drop to the ground after the rock, runs over to the rock's position and begins voraciously ripping the legs off of the previous Grimlock and consuming it.
Oh,
It's a nice
okay.
family meal. So, Rue, it's your turn, and notice the severe reduction in monster tokens this turn.
Can I disengage both of them, or can I only do?
You may. Where would you
Alright,
like-
I'm gonna
where'd you like to move?
disengage them both and just fuck off to the door.
Okay, you've
Can't get
learned! You've learned! Alright!
Can't get me. Can't do me.
My implicit
thinking.
teachings are working!
Fucker. Ooh.
So, Rue, do you wanna interact at all before you end your turn?
Interact with.
This
What?
anybody, you're next to both of your party members.
I'm gonna scowl at both of them.
Why are you
Gee,
scowling?
gee, great loyalty, huh?
Just gonna just push at the door violently.
You're lucky. You're lucky I'm opening the door.
And you're lucky I know healing magic!
Team morale is at an all-time high, it appears.
You're the one who stirred all this shit anyway.
Well, how was I supposed to know there were only a limited number of females?
To be fair, none of us knew, but still.
Steal!
Rue just lets out a harsh
Exactly.
Well, don't worry, I'll have this padlock open in a bit.
And as you shout out exactly, Wing Kobold D swoops down because she can't, hover above you in a doorway.
Mm-hmm.
And with the force of her kind of diving toward you, she's going to attempt to stab you with a dagger.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
Stab me or stab Rue?
Hey, a 6 wouldn't happen to hit you, would it?
Nope.
Okay, so she attempts to thrust her dagger toward you, completely whiffing and kind of bashing into the wall a little bit.
Dumb.
Okay, and it's Noel B's turn. Noel B is going to just enjoy the free meal at her feet. Alright, so, Maven, you successfully open the door, and it swings open. And as the doors swing open, in relief, you see that the room is well lit, and that there is a stone ladder in the corner.
Aw,
Fuck.
shit.
Oh, actually, I revealed the rest of the room. Ha 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 ha!
Oh, God.
Oh no! Whatever could that be? I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
I accidentally revealed it!
Oh no!
Oh, bitch.
Well, I'm gonna bring this up on my fucking. Good job.
Amazing.
Does it upset you to know that from the very beginning you could have just cut straight through the room?
We could
I'm going to piss my ass.
You see? Wait, we could have dove underneath and swam just to it.
Yes.
Bruh.
Yes.
Bruh.
Boy. We're gonna.
The actual worst.
If Ding had stayed here, she would have noticed on the way up.
I was just about to say that. Bitch.
Dang, why did you have to leave? No.
And now you know how Ding.
So many coins.
And now you know how Ding is going to meet you in the next session.
Fuck.
I'm going to. I'm gonna. Ooh.
So, Maven, since both you and Puko have their turns back to back, do you want to just usher everyone in and then padlock the door behind you?
Yes.
All right,
Absolutely.
let me just move all y'all in there.
I am so taken back.
I'm gonna piss my fucking self. Ooh.
Rue, you fucking started this.
Bitch! Ooh.
Alright, now with you guys in the Room of Doom, I'm gonna just leave it transparent now that you know what's there.
Might as well. We know all the secrets. There's not even any points of interest. This is fucking lame.
This sucks. You duped us. You duped us.
We got
This
fucking
sucks.
crossed.
I'm gonna piss. I'm going to pee on myself.
So,
Wow.
how about we resolve what's gonna go on? We hit the ladder, and then we end the session and I'll tell you more.
We get that fucking prize, bitch. I want it.
Okay.
I want that prize.
Can you even get it?
I'm gonna say
Actually-
I'm gonna say you have unlimited movement because you're safe.
Oh, you have unlimited movement. Okay.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna get that prize, bitch.
Okay.
Oof.
So, Maven, since the fresh order just refreshes, I'm just gonna move you on over to the other prize, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
And I'm gonna +1 you for prizes. So after all that, you can see Puko kind of just go...
I can't believe.
This will be our positioning for the evening. I finished the entire dungeon, but it just took a bit of time, so... Boop, doop. The nice part is it's prepared, so we could literally schedule another session this week and finish
Aw,
it.
shit.
Okay,
I'm done.
so let's roleplay it out and resolve it, and we'll be done for today. Hey there, welcome back to the outro. Sorry for the sudden cut and stop. There was a point in this session where I kind of stood in for Sammy, the player that had to leave, Ding's player, and I roleplayed as Ding for a little bit, but I felt kind of dirty about that, knowing that Sammy would want to join later. So I decided to remove that and retcon that, and just allow Ding to be roleplayed by her player. So that's how that happened. Anyway, I guess I should do some Dungeon Master's comments and some outros now that I'm done editing this. Finally, thank fuck. I thought this was going to be a real challenge to edit, but it really wasn't. I had like 2 hours of grid stuff, and I cut out, I think, more than half of it. Like, I think only 1/3 of this entire VOD has been grid stuff, and the nice part is it's still compact and pretty easy to listen to. Like, if we're getting to the grid stuff, and you see the sudden jump cuts, I apologize. You might get a little bit confused, but if you can see the YouTube video version, you'll have the audio, not the audio, the video. You'll have the video representation to go along with it. Sorry for the yawn, it's like 4 in the morning right now. But I designed this first floor with implicit teachings in mind. I put a secret passage where if they discovered it right away, they could have just been rewarded with skipping the entire stealth section. There's also a lot of stuff I didn't consider. At the very beginning, Rue shouted when there was a cavern full of monsters that could have heard it. And in retrospect, I do feel like a little bit of a bastard for letting that kobold kind of snitch her out. But I've spoken to the player a bit, and she has said that, yeah, you know what, it's pretty much in character. Plus, like, I really want the player and the character to kind of get smarter about how they do this kind of sting operation stuff. And I really want to see them succeed at one point, so hopefully the failures that happened will motivate success down the line. But man, I had fun with this session. Going forward, I think I'm going to design more dungeons with smaller rooms in mind, instead of these large cavernous spaces. And I do know I'm not going to be doing this darkness stuff, considering everyone in the party, save for the companion character, Puko. Puko Canopyborn, that's her last name. I was trying to figure out what her surname was, I forgot. But I don't think I'm going to run the darkness mechanic anymore. What I might do instead is if I have monsters that are, or foes that are going to remain hidden, that I will hide their tokens. and then between turns I'll make them visible again and occasionally roll perception without announcing it. So I don't know. I'm still finding my... Pardon me again. I'm gonna have to go to sleep for a bit after I get this done. I'm still kind of finding my dungeon mastering style for running combat on a grid. I also realized that Maven the Rogue didn't really get a whole lot of chances to do his sneak attack, pretty much his key class feature, which probably would have been able to wipe out the 2 kobolds without getting his kills stolen. I'm gonna probably have to do my research and see if there is maybe a flanking mechanic I could do. Maybe make it like a free ability check against their perception check or something? I'll have to try that next time. Anyway, thanks for watching as usual. If you have any questions about the setting, anything you want to implement, I'm your Dungeon Master. Just talk to me and I'll be happy to shoot the fat with you. Take it easy. Also, hopefully the Session 3 VOD isn't going to take nearly as long to produce. I hope to get it done by the weekend. Okay, bye!